Good morning. Hi, how are you? Hope you're well. So today I'm going to show you how you can create a really awesome category page. So your category pages are one of the most important pages on your site, but they're normally with WooCommerce, they are automatically generated for you, so you don't have a lot of control over them. We're going to build the Jimmy Choo category page because it's a great example of a really great category page. It has some elements in it which you can emulate on your own sites to really take things forward. Now, obviously, the Jimmy Choo website, they spent thousands and thousands of pounds designing it, and they probably got a team of developers building it, and it looks great. But I'm going to show you how you can pretty much emulate it with just using the Gutenberg block editor and our Storefront Blocks plugin that lets you customize WooCommerce category pages. So this is the page we're going to build. Let me just scroll down. So a couple of things to point out as I scroll. This is the Jimmy Choo website, so you go and check this out. Actually, I'll put a link to this category page in the description below, so you can actually go and check it out yourselves. It's the category is women's, and then first thing to say is they've got these really lovely big product images. So they're really highlighting the beauty of their products, which obviously is very important for them, and it's going to be important for a lot of sites. And then under here, what's nice is these are actually subcategories. So we're highlighting the subcategories, but then we're taking people off to those subcategories. So this, normally in WooCommerce, you get a couple of choices in terms of designing these product pages, these category pages rather. And these are the three choices you have when you set your categories. You can either show all your products, you can show your subcategories, or you can show subcategories and products. But you don't really have any control over the layout of how these pages look. Having this method will give you 100% control over how your pages look. So let's scroll on down. These are all linking off to subcategories. And again, we've got a different layout here. Full width layout with 3 columns, which looks really great. Then down here, we've got this really nice full width carousel thing going on where you can scroll across and see more images, and they swipe on a mobile phone as well, so they're mobile friendly. I'll show you how to build one of those very easily. And this is cool. Down here at the bottom, we're pointing people off to do other things on our site. So again, we're not restricted to these 3 options anymore. We've got complete control over how we design this page. So in this case, Jimmy Choo is sending people off to book an appointment, or they're introducing something else on their site. They're taking their readers somewhere else. And then finally down here, we have a newsletter sign up. So that's the page I'm going to show you how to build. This is actually the one I've pre-built. This is using the Storefront theme, the Gutenberg block editor, and our Storefront Blocks plugin. And you can see how close you can get to it. And this only took me maybe 20 minutes from scratch to build this. So we're replicating what Jimmy Choo, I assume, took months and months to build, just using the block editor. So here we go. I'm going to show you how to build it. It'll take about 15 minutes, I'm guessing. You'll learn some good tips in terms of how to set these nice columns up, and also how to do this photo carousel thing, and a few other things along the way, including how to add your newsletter sign up at the bottom. So here we go. There are just 3 steps to get this working on your own sites. Step 1, we need to create a new page, and we're going to set that page as our default category page just for this category. And so this is currently how our women category page looks like. So all we're going to do is create a brand new page here, and I'm going to call this Choo Women's page, just so I can recognize it. And to start with, all I'm going to do is publish that. I haven't put any content in it whatsoever. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab the URL of that page up here. Okay, and we have a setting now in our Storefront Blocks plugin where we can set our current category, type women, as that page. So basically we're redirecting people to that page rather than going to the generic automatically generated WooCommerce category page. And we do that by going to our categories, finding the category that we want to customize. In this case, it's women, clicking on edit. And then in here, you'll see there's just a redirect URL, and we're just going to pop in the URL of our new category page that we're currently building. And that means all the links on our shop now page of category type women are going back to that page. This is the reason we need to put that in. I've had a few people ask me about whether there's any SEO implications for that, or speed implications for that. There aren't. So as far as Google is concerned, that is your category page of type women's now. There is a great article which I will try and find and put in the description where Yoast talks about how this has no impact on your SEO. So you don't have to worry about that at all. But now we're in the position where if we go to one of our products now and click on the, let's go here, click on the category link, which is women up here. Can you see that link? If I click on that, that should take us to our blank page. So now we're ready to start customizing this page any way we like. We've got complete control over it, and we can customize it using the block editor. Now I'm using the storefront theme today. So there are a few things I need to do with storefront. The first is over here on the right. I want to set this to be full width. That will just remove the sidebar. If you're using other themes like Astra, they also have a setting where you can remove the sidebar per page if you want to. But now we've got, essentially we've just got a nice clean page where we can start to build this out. And here we go. So let's go back to edit page. And let's go back to the Jimmy Choo website here. And let's just build this from the top. So there's a few interesting things around this. The first is, can you see how, from a design point of view, they've got two images, but they're slightly differently sized. They're different sizes. And they're also differently aligned within the column. So let's assume this is a 2-column layout, but this one actually isn't vertically aligned at the top here. So we're just going to start by adding the columns block. So I click on the blue plus sign, find the columns block, chuck that into my page like so. And what I'm also going to do with this block is just select the top level columns, because these are nested. If you want to see the hierarchy, click on those 3 lines. That will show you the hierarchy of your columns. I've got the top level columns, and then within that I've got 2 columns. Select the top level, and I want to set that to be full width, okay? Because otherwise it's going to be a bit scrunchy. This may vary depending on your theme, so you might need to play with this a little bit. And then essentially we've got these 2 images, okay? I think it's looking like. So what I'll do, I'll just nab this one here for speed using my screen grabber. And I'm just going to drag that into that left-hand column like so. See how easy it is to drag these across. And let me drag the right, let's nab the right one as well over here. And I'm just going to drag that one. So you can just drag and drop images now into the block editor. Now with this left-hand block, with this left-hand block here, let's get this right. This one is, it looks like it's vertically aligned to go in the middle. So I want to select that column. And again, you can select the column down here. And I want to make sure that is just aligned to the middle there. Okay, and that will just sit. You might not see it in the preview, but that should sit when I publish this. See how it's now sitting nicely, vertically aligned right within that block. So that's kind of cool. Right, let's go back to edit screen here. Edit page. And then underneath this, I'm going to flick back and forth between Jimmy Choo and my website. All we have is a button, it looks like to me. So I'm going to, under this one, I'm going to add, now sometimes it can be a bit tricky here. So I'm just going to hit return. So I'm not in the caption, / and then buttons, / and then the block name is a shortcut to add a block. And then all I'm going to do is add the text that they put in, which is shop pearl. Okay. Now I want to center that button. So again, we want to click on the top level. If I just click in the button itself, I don't have the option to center it because the buttons block is a container block that can contain multiple buttons. So again, this down here will help you. You see the little breadcrumbs. These are really super helpful. Just click on buttons and now I can actually align that to the center. And then the only other thing I need to do here is click into this and I want to select the outline option over here on the right. That just creates that nice outline button style. It's just a different choice of the button style. And then over here on the right, I'm going to do the same thing very quickly. I'm going to find the buttons block. And this one, if I can remember, it's called Shop Crystal, which I can never spell. For some reason, I want to put an H in it. And again, make sure you select the top level button and just center that. And again, click into the button and click outline in here. If you want to link these, I'm not going to link these today to the subcategories. You just click into them and you see the little link icon here. And then that's where you would link to the further subcategories, which again, you could customize if you wanted to. Okay, so let's just update that. go and check it out. That's looking pretty close to what I'm after. You see there's a slight difference in gapping here, but I'm okay with that today. And in fact, I haven't centered that button properly for some reason. I know what it is. I need to center the actual image. So I'm going to center that image, and that'll just bring that closer in as well, actually. So see what I mean by you've got a sort of trial and error, but that's pretty close. I'm very happy with that, actually. That's looking great. Okay, so essentially we've got the same thing underneath it, but we've got the images proportions swapped around. So all we're going to do, edit page, and I'm going to select the columns block, the whole columns block. And again, these breadcrumbs, if you just click into any of these blocks, it will show you the whole hierarchy down here, and then select columns. It's a really quick way when you're working in columns to make sure you select the top level elements, which is column. And then I'm just going to duplicate that by clicking on these three dots, clicking duplicate. Okay. Then I'm going to swap over those columns. So I need to select a column block. Again, down here, these breadcrumbs are a really easy way for you to make sure you select the right block. And now you see this arrow here, I can just swap them around. How cool is that? Okay. And it will take all the settings across for you. And then all I'm going to do here is nab these images quickly, like so and so. You get the idea. Just chuck that one in there. And this one, I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm doing this really fast today, but you could take obviously more time over this. That over there. So now we've got the images right, and I would just go in and change this button text here. You just click in here and type the text. I'm not going to do that today because I'm sure you can work out how to do that and it'll just bore you. But there we go. There's my. That's looking really cool, isn't it? I really like that. The only thing I probably want to do I? Let's have a look. No, I'm okay with that actually. Those proportions are kind of interesting from a design point of view, so I'm quite happy. Actually, that one needs to be. Let's align that one because otherwise the button's not going to be centered. So let's just align this to the center. Click in the image, choose align center. We want these two elements, the button and the image, to be aligned with each other. That's why I'm doing that. And that should. How cool is that? That's looking great. Really cool. Right, so that's that section done there. Then down here, this is, hopefully you can guess how we're going to do this, but I'll show you again a good tip on how you can do this really quickly. So this is, as you probably guessed, let's go back to it. This is just a 3-column layout with a heading or a paragraph block and a button block underneath. So I'm going to start by adding the columns block. So click on the blue sign, search for columns, drag it across. Now this might be interesting. Let's see if this has worked. Yeah, I think that's okay. Is that okay? Let's just select the full, the columns again and set that to be full width just to make sure. Yeah, that's cool. So we want this to be full width. And now let's nab some more photos. Obviously don't do this on your own sites, use your own photos. But let's just drag, I think drag and drop is so cool. I love drag and dropping photos into the page. So I'm only going to create the first block. Let's grab this text. And then I'm going to show you a cool tip on how you can work speedily. Let's add that underneath. I'm going to center it. I am going to make it bold, and I'm going to increase the size to 24. I'm going to increase the size a bit more. Let's try 30. Let's see how that looks. That's better, isn't it? And I'm going to change the text by using color settings to black because that's what we're after. And then underneath that, all we've got is our buttons block again, our lovely buttons block, which add our buttons block. Just that one there. Okay, and our text is shop trainers, uppercase. And again, I select the top level. So you can do this by just how I did there. I just sort of click to the right of it, or use your breadcrumbs down here to select the right thing. So, you know, click into the element itself and then go up from there by using this little breadcrumb. And now I can center it. See that? And now then go back and click in the buttons block and select outline. Okay, so that's the sort of steps you want to be taking. Let's just update this and check how we're looking. Okay, see how quick this stuff is to do. And there we go. That's looking pretty much perfect, I think. That's looking quite good. And then all I'm going to do for speed today is I'm going to select that entire column, and again, just click into one of the elements and then go back up the hierarchy to select the column. And it will show you you selected the column here. And then I'm going to duplicate that twice. And then I'm going to remove these two columns. This is such a cool way to do these things. And now I've basically got my template. And then, I'm not going to do it today. I'll just do one. I would just add I haven't cropped that very well. Let's do another one. I would just add my images. So, when you're working with elements where you want to do the same thing but just change something, it's a really, super. So you can see how fast this doesn't take me any time at all to create these. If I use the right shortcuts, it doesn't take me any time at all to basically recreate these layouts just using the columns block and duplicating and then changing. Okay, and again, I would just pop in here and change the text and click into here, change the text and change the links to where those things are going. But let's check again how we're looking. That's looking pretty damn close. I really like these elements here. And then down here, we've got this section here, which is new arrivals, and we've got this product carousel block. Now we can do that using our Storefront Blocks plugin, which comes with its own really nice carousel block. But we have a heading to start with, I think. So we're going to go / heading. And then the heading is, let me just nab it. I clicked on it, I didn't nab it. The heading is new arrivals. Where are we? So yeah, so let's write the heading, new arrivals. And I'm going to center that heading, and I'm going to change the text color over here. And I'm going to make it bold. Okay, and then under that heading, I'm going to add the photo carousel block. So I'm going to, now this requires our Storefront Blocks plugin, and you'll also require that plugin to create that link to your category page. And where is it? That one there. So you just drag the product carousel block across. That's going to bring your products in for you. And there's just a couple of things we want to do here. We are going to filter this. We're going to filter this block by women. So that's just going to pull in your women's products. And then the other thing I want to do here is I want to change the layout, which is just an option in the customizer, to full width. And now the only difference on our site is a couple of things. We've got different products, obviously, because this site has different products. The Jimmy Choo ones have these nice, you see how they're cut out on a white background. And I've done another tutorial that shows you how to cut out your product images, which I will link to in the description because it just looks really nice on the white. And the other thing is they've got their product price here. So we can actually turn on the product price. It's an option in this block. So I click on the block itself, and then over here on the right, you can just toggle this show price option here, and that'll just bring the price in. Okay. And then we've just got a few other elements on the page here. This is really simple. You can probably work out how this works, but let me just add it in so we can actually finish off this page. So we're going to add the columns block, and I'm going to use the shortcut to add it, /, type the block name, and we've just got two columns. Okay, and I think we want to go full width again. So click into one of the elements, select columns there, going back up the hierarchy, and then select full width. And that will just stretch it out. And now we just want to let's nab these images. Let's nab this one here. We're going to drag that one in there. And underneath this, we've just got some text introducing the core collection. So it'll think you want to add a caption. So hit return and come out of that. And now I can center it and do my formatting. So I can change the color settings, and I will make it bold. I think we want it bold. Yeah, we do. And then we just got a button underneath. Again, you can just hit return, which will kind of create the space for a new block, and then type your words in. Sorry, type the name of the block you want to find in. And then this is just called Discover the Collection. Okay, and again, I'm going to click slightly to the right because that makes it easy for me to select the top level, and then I'm going to center it, and then finally click into the block, select outline over here on the right. Now I'm going to use the same technique. I'm going to duplicate this section. So I click into an element, doesn't matter which one, and then go up the hierarchy. Select column, and now I'm just going to duplicate that, remove that one. See how fast this is to work in. The block editor is so fast to work in these days. Nab that image, drag it into the page. Okay, and again, I'm not going to change all the text here, but you would, you just go in and change the text and change the button text. Now, the only other thing they've got on here is this sign up form. This will depend somewhat on what email service you're using. If you're using, but they all have these options, I think. But one of the more common ones is Mailchimp. So in Mailchimp, you have the option to basically create an embeddable form. So there are plugins that do this, but you don't need a plugin. You can just go to Mailchimp and create your form there. This is an embedded form, and I've just chosen this option here. And that will give you basically your code. You've got other options here, slightly different designs. They're not terribly brilliant, but you can customize them. And all I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to add it. In fact, I should have added the title first, but I'm going to add it using the HTML block because there is an HTML block. So just add that, chuck that form in, and that will then preview that here. Now it's not identical to Jimmy Choo's, but I quite like it. It's good enough for me today. And then all I'm going to add here is some text above it. This is my text. And I'm going to center that if I can click the right button. I've centered it. I'm going to change the color because we want that black color. We've got a bit of text underneath. Hit return, pop the text in, center the text, and text color. And we're pretty close. And the only other thing they've got, I think, is this terms and conditions information underneath here. So let's just add that underneath. I'm going to make that small by choosing custom size over here. And I think we are pretty much there. So let me have a look at my page. Here's my custom page. I've got my lovely big images at the top. Got these lovely three images underneath. I have my cool photo carousel going on. I've got, actually, that's an issue. I haven't centered that one. So let me just finish. I want to finish that off properly. Let's center that image in the left-hand column. Like so. You might find a few little things like this, which are kind of theme specific some cases, but you can normally work around them. There we go. There's that. And there's that nice sign up form. Now you see my form looks a little bit different to the one that we saw in Mailchimp. And that's because I've customized it using a little bit of CSS, which just lets me customize the button color. I'll show you quickly how I did that. And I'll put this code, I'll put a link to this code if you are using Mailchimp and you want to customize the button. It's very simple. There's just a bit of CSS that you can add just to change the color of the subscribe button. So there we go. A fully customized WooCommerce category page in about, I don't know how long that took, 10 to 15 minutes. Looks so much better than the standard WooCommerce category page. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then if you can hit the like button, that would be great because it helps spread the word around these videos. I'm doing about 2 a week around WooCommerce and the Gutenberg block editor. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button because then you'll be notified when I produce new ones. So thank you so much, and I shall see you soon.